How you going? I thought I'd just throw up a little video of some exercises for Pandeiro. I've been getting my Pandeiro practice into some routine again, which is great. I used to walk my dog every day and take the Pandeiro with me, and it was just a great way of continuing to practice while doing a daily routine and looking after my dog, and she became really accustomed to it, and she used to get really excited every time I grabbed my Pandeiro because she knew it was time for a walk. Now I don't have a dog, but I started getting up and walking in the morning and doing some exercise and taking my Pandeiro with me, and it's a beautiful instrument, so portable, and when I went to Brazil it was the perfect instrument to carry with me everywhere and continue to practice and learn and soak up the culture and everything in Brazil. So it's a beautiful instrument, very portable, kind of like a ukulele or something, but yeah, for drummers. So anyway, Pandeiro. So the thing with Pandeiro is you've got sort of two approaches to Pandeiro, and one is like what I would call like a street approach, which is using the finger as the muffle on the bottom, and it gives a really dry muffling sound, and it really stops the note and stops it short, and it gives it that really authentic, it's very authentic samba sound, and there's not much turning, so this hand, it just basically does this function of touching the skin underneath, and so that's what I would call like the street style. And this hand stays still, and this hand is very, very busy. It's very this hand works really hard, and this hand is just using the finger and a little bit of movement, just a little bit of movement, a little bit of twisting, and or maybe rising or those types of things. But it's mainly in this hand. So that's like the street style, and then you've got like a more sophisticated style which has a different grip. The grip is more, it's further away from the wrist, and it makes the Pandeiro sit straighter, more straight in line with the direction of the arm, so that when you twist, the twist is how to say, it's on a right angle with your arm, whereas when you use the finger underneath, it tends to sort of sit a little bit off center. So anyway, this grip is different, and then it changes and opens up the thumb to be the mute, but it doesn't really mute, it's more of a pitch changing sound, so you get this. Whereas if you use the thumb, you get more of that mute. So those are the two approaches, and the thumb. So let's call it the finger style and thumb style, okay? And I've been getting into practicing both at the same time because I think they feed into each other, and you can cross pollinate. A lot of people get very strict about it, and they want to do just one style or the other, and one's right and one's wrong, but it's just different techniques. So we'll call this thumb style, and the finger style we'll call finger style. So in the thumb style, the left hand that's holding the Pandeiro does a lot of the work, and the right hand does less. It's more static. The right hand just moves small, like makes small movements, and this hand sort of does all the work. So that's an interesting thing. It sort of swaps over. So I thought, like, just practicing, just looking at these two styles, that I could give some basic kind of rudiments about how just to get started, and then from there you find your own style. Starting with the basic, let's start with the street style and with the finger style, and let's look at this. So if you're just holding like this, and we're going to place our hand in position here, we're going to go for just the jingle sound, chick, 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 chick. So how does that happen? That just happens with a basic wrist, heel and toe action. So it's just like congas or congas are the best example. It's just like congas. So just basic heel and toe, and that's a great way to just start to learn. Just do that, chak 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 chak, because once you're accustomed to getting your wrist moving like that, it helps so much. And I never actually started practicing like this until recently, but I wish I had from the beginning. No one ever taught me that. I had to figure it out. But so what I do is just isolating just that one movement, the heel toe movement, and then I love this concept of increasing the tempo into triplets, and then double time, and then triplets again. So it's sort of like this. You're going like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then back down. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And you notice that I started from the top end, because I find that with the Pandeiro, it's always the top end that is the most difficult to control. So, and it has a weaker sound, so you have to really work to make it more conscious. And so I do most of my exercises when I'm doing the rudiments, I do from the top end, just to really get my top end really, really precise, yeah? Yeah, so this is the finger style, just isolating that one movement and just looking at jingles without any notes, no accents, nothing like that, just that basic movement. I mean, I'm trying to spend it, just like half an hour at least every day, just practicing that, just isolating that, and I'm finding it's really, really helpful, because it's a movement that you're doing all the time. And if it's not really, really comfortable and relaxed, then you're going to struggle with everything else. So, yeah, that's the finger style. But now if we change over, so we change over the grip and we extend it away. And it's fantastic when you're changing grips, because when you get tired, you swap over and swap to the new technique. And you give your muscles a rest, and you're exercising new things. So it's a great idea to try different techniques. So if you take the thumb technique, and we do the same thing, we're going to keep this hand still, and we're going to do the same exercise, but instead of moving this hand, we're going to move this hand. And so we keep this still, and we go toe, heel, toe, heel. So we do exactly the same notes, but this time it's a different hand that's moving. So you've got to really resist the temptation to move this hand. Try and keep it as still as possible, and just do the rotation from the left. Okay, so that's the same exercise, but with the thumb technique. Okay, just jingles. One, so one, 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 one. So this little graduation of different speeds is a fantastic way to practice. It's a really old school way of doing rudiments with drums and with percussion. And I haven't really done it a lot, but I've just started doing it on my walks and doing this every day. And I'm just seeing the potential of how you can really use it as a musical tool, because it gives you those different modes. It's like you're changing to a different key or something. You're able to take the rhythm to another section without completely changing. It's like, going from C to G, for example. It's like you're staying in the same pulse, you're using a lot of the same notes, but you shifting up a notch, or you're going down a notch to F or whatever. So this is a great technique. So I'm not going to do too much today, but that's just, already there's so much there. That's if you do this for half an hour today, or half an hour or an hour a day, it's going to be heaps. I mean, 15 minutes or 5 minutes a day just is going to improve your playing a lot. So maybe I'll just touch on one other little thing. With the Pandeiro, obviously you want the primary note that's going to come first. With both, whether it's thumb style, twisting the left, or finger style, street style, you're going to be wanting to use the thumb on the right for your main accent, your main low notes. And so you have to introduce it somehow as a rudiment. What I often do is I'll do, say for example, you could do the same type of thing but starting from the bottom side, because it's important to see with Pandeiro, it's so interesting how the heel and the toe make up the accents, and you have to stick to the side that you're playing. So if I'm playing this side, one on the bottom, one, that's where my thumb is going to come. If I'm doing the top, one, then I'll be using the finger to get the accent. And if I try to swap it around, you lose the groove, especially if you're doing thumb style with the twisting left hand. So you have to stick. You have to stick to the side that you have to learn how to adapt this to this hand and which accents you're doing. So the start of that, where to start is just by doing simple exercises like this. So with the same rotation that we did before, one, except this time we're on the bottom, we're doing the bottom side. One, we're doing the thumb and the heel is on the downbeat. One, two, three, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you get the idea. So it's just the same exercise, but you're just throwing in the thumb to help you start with accents. And then from there, you just extend it. You do it more regularly, like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Yeah, and the next one. But the aim is never speed. The aim is never speed. Well, the aim is speed in the long run, but the aim in the short term is to stay within your bounds and learn how to use your range that you have at the moment. That's the main thing. It's like singing. There's no point trying to just concentrate on singing really high notes as high as you can and trying to extend your range by singing really high notes. You have to concentrate on where your range is. Similarly, you wouldn't want to sing just the low notes to get a lower range. You want to sing within your range and just keep practicing and learn what you can do within your range and learn as much diversity within that range. And it's the same with drumming. You want to stay in your comfortable area with speed. Don't try to always reach for the faster one or the slower one or whatever. Just stay in your area and get more phrases, more language within that area. So at least this is what I'm concentrating on with my own practice at the moment. And it's a really therapeutic way of playing as well. Helps just to stay, try not to reach for those really fast things, just go for the easier ones. So, and then we're just going to go back to street style, just to finish off the lesson with, again, we're going to throw the thumb into this that we did before. So we're doing this side with no turning, just pure heel toe. And then throwing the thumb in. So 1, and with this time, we're not starting from the top, we're starting from the bottom this time. So 1, 1, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you notice that what I was having trouble with just there is doing like 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Just coming back to jingles. That's the exercise. That's why the exercise is great. Just this. Counting it in different ways, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and getting it really even and in control. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. You get the idea, but it's just including an extra note. So that's heaps for this video. Like I said, just this is the main thing that I wanted to talk about, and the two different styles: finger style, thumb style, finger style, and how you can just incorporate that as a rudiment and use the graduation of triplets to eighth notes, down to triplets again, quarters, etc., etc. It's great practice. And then just throw in the thumb. For me, you know, like this is not it's not about being a beginner's lesson or an intermediate level. This is just anyone can benefit from just tidying up their playing, getting their tone and their timing really spot on. You know, you never finish it. It's just, that's a lifelong thing that we all work on as musicians, is just ironing out all the creases and getting our playing to be smooth and technique. Yeah, keep going, guys. Love your work. Hope you have a great day.